Hey there everyone, it's Kylie at Games Unlimited, and I'd like to talk to you this week about a couple of games I got a chance to play recently, starting off with Ohanami. This is a little card game from the designer of the game that's going to have you drafting cards around the table and choosing which cards to add to your tableau. So you're going to create up to 3 columns of cards. But the trick is the cards are numbered 1 to 120, and each card you take, if you want to play it, you're going to have to place it in one of those 3 columns, and it has to be either higher than the highest card in that column or lower than the lowest card in that column. So let's say I've got a 50 already down in one of the columns. I could play an 87, put it above the 50, but that means I'll no longer be able to play anything between 50 and 87 in that column. So you can take big jumps, but you're going to limit your future options. You're doing this in order to score points for the 4 different colors. So the cards range from 1 to 120. They come in green, blue, gray, and pink. And each of those is going to score a little differently. So the blue ones are going to score every round. It's a 3-round game. The blue ones are going to score every round and get you 3 points. So that means if any blue cards you play in the first round are actually going to get you 9 points over the course of the game, because every card stays from round to round. The green ones don't start scoring until round 2, but they're worth 4 points. So every green card you play in round 2 is going to be worth 8 points over the course of the game. Of course, if you don't play a green card until round 3, those green cards are only going to be worth 4 points. So you're really trying to get a lot of blue cards in round 1, maybe a lot of green cards in round 2. Round 3, you'll score any gray cards you played. Even ones you played in round 1 and round 2, they just don't score until round 3, and they're going to be worth 7 points apiece. Lastly, you're also doing these pink cards. The pink cards don't score till the end of the game, at the end of round 3, but they're going to be worth points the more pink cards you have. So 1 pink card is worth 1 point. If you have 2, it's worth 3, 3 is worth 6, and so on. You can get a bunch of points from those, but of course you're going to be sacrificing getting blue and green and gray along the way if you do that. Wonderful little filler game. Highly recommended. I've played it with 2 players. I've played it with 4 players. Works great with all play counts. That is Ohanami. Another one I want to talk to you about, I got a chance to replay. This was my game of the year for 2020, and we just got a restock of Dune Imperium. Now this is a fairly meaty, I would say it's a medium weight, medium heavyweight game from the designer of Clank. So this is a designer who really knows how to make deck building games integrate with other types of game mechanisms. So this one is a deck building and worker placement game. The theme, of course, is Dune. It uses artwork inspired by the upcoming movie. And you're trying to be the first person to 12 points. That will trigger the end game. But if no one gets there by 9 rounds, the game ends and whoever has the most points wins. What's interesting and cool about it is that the cards that you're going to be adding to your deck and playing determine what actions you can take. So these cards have symbols on them. And those symbols, when you play a card, allows you to place one of your worker on a spot on the board that has that symbol. So certain cards are only going to let you go to certain places. If you really want to do a lot of stuff in the government hierarchy up here, you're going to want to draft a lot of cards that do that. You're also building up your reputation with the different factions, with the Bene Gesserit, with the Spacing Guild, things like that. Building up those reputations are ways to get you points, but also get you lots of cool special abilities. I've played this probably 6 to 10 times now. Every single game I've played has been completely different strategies to go after. There's a bit of an area control mechanism. So you're going to be adding troops to Arrakis itself, to the planet, and fighting over certain goals that are going to change every round. But I've seen victories in that game happen when someone didn't even care about that aspect of the game. So there's really a lot of places to go. It's got great Dune flavor. I recently reread the first Dune book just to remind myself of what's going on in the lore of the world. A lot of different characters you can choose from that are going to push your strategy in different directions. Really an awesome, awesome game. Whether or not you're fans of the IP, Dune Imperium is one I recommend you check out while we have some copies. I don't know how long they're going to last. Last up this week, another one that I got to introduce some friends to that I played a lot during quarantine is Bunny Kingdom. Now, this is a classic. This one's been out 4 years or so now, 3 or 4 years. And this is from Richard Garfield, who designed King of Tokyo and Magic the Gathering. This is, I like to call it, a drafting version of the old Sid Sackson game Acquire with a cute bunny theme. So you've got this board that's got a grid on it. You've got 100 different spaces, A through J on one side, 1 through 10 on the other. and you're going to draft cards. So you have a hand of cards, you're going to pick two, pass, much like Ohanami, which I talked about earlier. Pick two cards, pass them, and then decide to play those cards. Most of them are going to let you put a bunny on a spot on the board. So if I've got A5, I put a bunny on A5. There's only one A5 card. So once I'm there, I'm locked in. That's great. Now, the different spots on the board, some of them have cities on them, some of them have resources. You're going to, at the end of each of the 4 rounds, tally up your fiefs, basically collections of your bunnies that are all orthogonally adjacent. You're going to tally those up and multiply how many cities there are by how many different resources it produces. And of course, as you're drafting, you're not just drafting cards that let you put stuff on the board, you're drafting cards that will let you add cities, bigger cities that are actually bigger multipliers. You can add resources to the board. There are special quest cards that you actually play face down that's going to give you in-game bonuses. It's just a really fun ride because you're watching what are the other places people doing? Where are they going? Do I want to draft this card to them? Because that's going to let them place that bunny right there that's going to connect a couple of major fiefs and give them a lot of points. Just an all-around good time, colorful game, lots of cool bunnies. Highly recommend this one if you haven't checked it out in the past. That is Bunny Kingdom. All right, those are my picks for the week. Please come on down, ask us questions about these games. Maybe we'll play a quick game of Ohanami with you. That's a great one there. I want you to pick one of these up for your games this week and unbox some fun.